What's the most bullshit profession that actually exists? Story 1. Life coaches, especially the ones in their 20s. Listen, you don't know shit about shit, and if your coach title doesn't start with a sport in front of it, you're a fraud. I have a friend who does this. He was just bouncing between dead-end jobs until he went to a coaching seminar. Now he has 8 to 10 insecure 20-somethings paying him $2,000 a month for gym schedules, recipes, and girl advice. On one hand, get your money, dude. On the other, it's all basic shit they could get from a Google search. They don't need to give you $2,000 a month to tell them to shop at H&M and do 10 pull-ups. It feels predatory. Story 2. The entire health insurance industry, health insurance companies in the U.S. have exactly 2 motivations. Extract as much money as possible while you are healthy. Hope you die as quickly as possible once you're sick. It's amazing to me how transparent the whole business model is. By creating bureaucratic red tape or administrative overhead, insurance is sure to avoid having to reimburse some portion of appropriate care, as providers will simply not have the time and inclination to deal with the bullshit. Every time I do a prior authorization or peer-to-peer, it feels like I have to travel through some bizarro Kafka-esque world where the rules are totally made up and there is no one to justify any of them. I'll call the number on a prior authorization request, wait on hold for 5 to 10 minutes, only to be told I'm speaking with the wrong department, then be transferred somewhere else, hung up on, disconnected, go through the entire thing with the wrong department. Again, put in patient information, ID numbers, PA numbers, according to the voice of some robot, wait on hold for the correct department, be asked by a person for the numbers I already told the robot, why did I have to give them to the robot? Then be told that this can no longer be processed as the deadline has passed because reasons. Story 3. Anyone who says that they have an investing strategy 100% makes money from selling this bullshit and couldn't make money investing in a million years. I have an investment strategy, but I'm not trying to sell it. Free advice. Max out your 401k on whatever match you get. Go with mutual funds or whatever. Doesn't matter if you won't be at that job until you retire. Take advantage of the free money, even if you pull it out early. The big penalty that seems to worry people is that you pay like 10%, plus the taxes you would pay on it anyway. It looks like a lot because of the taxes, but really it's just 10% over what you would have to pay anyway. Your match should more than cover it, unless it sucks. Even if you don't keep it forever, switching jobs is a convenient time to get a call from the 401k company asking if you want to stay with them now that your employer isn't covering their fees, or if you just want to check for $20,000. Promotional speaker. Let me tell you how I became successful charging you $10,000 to speak. How to get $10,000. Feels like that book titled How I Made $290,000 Selling Books. That was for sale on Amazon for $290,000. Story 4. Pet communicator. Yes, we have these in my country, and there is this famous internet joke. Communicator. Your pet wants to be pet more often. Owner. He's a fish. There was a pet psychic show on TV that I assume got greenlit on the heels of whoever that asshole guy was that used cold reading to talk to dead people. It was really stupid. I remember the lady telling a dog's owner, he says he wants you to give him more French fries. And the owner started freaking out like, oh my God, how do you... No, he loves French fries. Story 5. Psychic. Any kind, especially those who prey on people mourning the dead and convincing them that they are speaking. Literally have someone in my family that's convinced everyone she's psychic. It got to the point where my sister got mad at my nephew for getting vaccinated without her consult. He's 18. She would speak to our cousin who passed away too soon, see the dead when we were out at restaurants, and just say stupid bullshit like, you heal with your hands, after I've told the family I'm interested in medicine. B, please. Oh, she has also consulted my other sister that if she got pregnant with her current partner, she should get an abortion. I'm pro-choice over here, but the only person who should be making that choice are the people involved in the baby-making process, you know? Pisses me off. Story 6. In the U.S., the entire medical insurance industry, we pay more for insuring individuals than most countries pay to care for individuals. Beyond that, the cost-reducing policies of insurers creates a product, the care itself, which is focused on saving a little now and not focused on the long-term health of the patient. So, an inherently inferior product, but at least as expensive. Story 7. Landlords. Edit. To everyone saying that landlords exist because people shouldn't or can't own the property, here are some reasons as to why I believe you are wrong. 1. People can't afford to buy it. Maybe not in a lump sum, but payment plans exist for a reason. Instead of paying $2,300 a month in rent just for the privilege of living there, you could be paying the same amount for the right to live on that property. 2. The landlords need to make monies to feed their families. Yeah, so do I. However, the landlord gets paid for owning the land, not actually for any kind of labor or service. The only service being provided is a basic human right, the right to shelter. Story 8. Ticket broker and console broker, aka ticket scalper and console scalper, add no value to the transaction, just needlessly insert themselves to profit. Fuck 'em. Wow, what a slime ball that guy is in the screenshot. Story 9. Once worked at a company where they had social media officers whose jobs were to go through Instagram and like and comment on photos of hot people. They earned more than I did. No idea how. There is more to it than that. If you have a big company with a big social presence, it can take a whole day. They may also be the ones doing the planning and content creation as well. It's super effective in getting people engaged with your brand and selling products. I hated doing it as part of my job and could never do it as a standalone job. Story 10. New York City apartment brokers. I hate having a middleman. The only way it would make sense to me is if they were to negotiate on my behalf, but instead, they are incentivized to do the very opposite. I once heard about an apartment opening in New York City from a friend of mine in the building, so I called the landlord and she said, "This is when it's available. This is the rent. Oh, and there's a broker's fee, and I'm the broker." Such a scam, but I paid it because you have to in New York City. Story 11. All the people that help you buy a house. Title guy that shows up late just stamps things after you sign. The mortgage guy is always behind and forgets things, forcing you to sign at 10 p.m. the night before it's due. One of the 70 inspectors that charge $1,000 have no stakes in this and miss everything. The other title guy that calls you later, etc. Story 12. The late anthropologist David Graeber wrote a book about bullshit professions called, bullshit jobs. He put them into 5 categories. Flunkies, who serve to make their superiors feel important. Receptionists, administrative assistants, store greeters, doormen. Goons, who act to harm or deceive others on behalf of their employer, or to prevent other goons from doing so. Lobbyists, corporate lawyers, telemarketers, and PR specialists. Duct tapers, who temporarily fix problems that could be fixed permanently. Programmers that fix shit code that should be rewritten but for some reason hasn't. Airline baggage clerks that try and assuage angry passengers that their luggage hasn't arrived. Box tickers, whose jobs are mostly looking like they are doing important work, but in reality isn't. In-house magazine journalists, survey admins, corporate compliance officers. Taskmasters, people who create jobs for people who don't need them. Middle managers, leadership professionals. Story 13. Middleman companies in every industry that somehow still exist. I feel like most of these companies were once useful, but now that no one needs to physically interact with customers or paperwork, are completely purposeless. Story 14. Televangelist, biggest scammers in the world, but don't worry, just slap the name Jesus or God and it's legit. God spoke to me and said that I need a brand new G800 because it has a longer range than my 2-year-old G650, so I can reach more people with the message of God. So please open up your checkbooks and donate that $72 million I need to get it.